Little tired, running a little behind today because we went to the Minecraft movie last night. Me and Ava and Ella and one of Ava's friends. So I'm a bit tired. The Daily Reflections for April 9th. Freedom from King Alcohol. Let us not suppose, even for an instant, that we are not under constraint. Our former tyrant, King Alcohol, always stands ready again to clutch us to him. Therefore, freedom from alcohol is the great must that has to be achieved, else we go mad or die. As Bill Sees It, page 134. When drinking, I lived in spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical confinement. I had constructed my prison with bars of self-will and self-indulgence from which I could not escape. Occasional dry spells that seemed to promise freedom would turn out to be little more than hopes of a reprieve. True escape required a willingness to follow whatever right actions were needed to turn the lock. With that willingness and action, both the lock and the bars themselves opened for me. Continued willingness and action keep me free, in a kind of extended daily probation that need never end. Woof! Man, these have been good lately. I have to roll through this one pretty quick because I'm a chaperone on the zoo field trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our former tyrant, King Alcohol, always stands ready again to clutch us to him. Yes, I know that. I relapsed after 13 years of being sober. Well, 5 years of those were probably sober. And then the rest were just me being dry. Stands ready again to clutch us to him. I'm telling you. It never went away from me as far as really the underlying reasons that I'm a drunk. And I think for me, the sudden realization that the daily spirituality, the daily prayer and meditation, the daily check-ins with my buddies in some fashion, the 10th step at night, the self-reflection is where sobriety lives for me. Because I have to realize I have to have a clear 100% picture of how I'm interacting with the world every day. Am I getting grumpy? Am I short with the kids? Did I get frustrated in traffic? Am I overwhelmed at work? Am I worrying about a situation? Where are my thoughts? Are they focused on work in a healthy way? Are they focused on my family? Are they focused on helping others? When I answer those questions, I'm taking my spiritual temperature. And if I'm not asking those questions each day, that means I'm not in a good spot. I lived in spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical confinement. Absolutely. Spiritual, I had no contact with God. Emotional, I was constantly depressed and anxious and angry. Physical confinement, absolutely. If I'm super hungover, I can't get going. I can't work out. Luckily, I never got to the point where I had serious health conditions, but they happen. I've seen them happen all the time. True escape required a willingness to follow whatever right actions were needed to turn back. Willingness, actions. Whenever I hear the word willingness, for me, it always means ego. Because if I'm in ego, if I think I know what's right all of the time, that means I don't think I need to change my behavior or actions. So there's zero willingness there. After I've been in this thing for a while, I knew I had a realization of how much or how little I knew. And how little I understood the program. And how wonderful it is to have self-awareness and self-reflection and continuing to strive for improvement as far as my behavior. None of it has to do with like alcohol anymore. It has to do with how am I reacting to the world now. Am I zen? Am I okay? If somebody cuts me off in traffic, what's my response? And the more I do that, the more agency I have over my life. And that's one thing I never had when I was drinking was agency. I had no control. I was an absolute emotional slave to the rest of the world. And I didn't even realize it. Everybody affected me. I allowed everyone and everything to affect me emotionally external things constantly chose my behaviors for me, chose my direction. So it wasn't me in charge, it was the world. And the irony is, as I plug into my higher power, it's not me in charge, it's my higher power. Now I have to do the work and I have to walk in a certain direction and then ask God if that's the right direction. And He has always made it completely obvious which direction I should be walking in. Continued willingness and action keep me free in a kind of extended daily probation that never need end. That need never end. I love that because that reminds me of, sorry, I flood my words. That reminds me of, we're not cured of alcoholism. We have a daily reprieve contingent on the basis of our spiritual conditions. And then it goes into, we practice spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. I hear people say all the time, well, progress, not perfection. It's spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Yeah, I love that. I'm sorry, I got to cut this one short. I hope you all have a great day. Please stay sober. If you're not sober, go to a meeting. Call another drunk today, one of your buddies, and give them some encouraging words. Say, hey, buddy, how are you doing? I love you. I miss you. Let's have lunch. Something like that.